Hey there, guys and girls. So, for today, we're going to be talking about a bar graph, things that make up a bar graph, and how to read a bar graph. So, this is a bar graph. It has bars that go up and down. That seems pretty easy, right? Um, Math people, we're not trying to make things hard. We're lazy. A key thing about bar graphs is see how it has this space between them and it doesn't connect together. If we were to connect these together, that is a different type of graph. So a bar graph, each part of the information has its own bar. Next, we're going to look at the title. So our title up here says hundreds of coins collected per year. So we're going to be talking about coins and how many were collected per what year, right? So our y-axis is labeled with hundreds of coins, and our x-axis on the bottom is labeled in years. So as we go up this, we're going to go up a scale, and we start at 0, and we're going to go all the way up to 9. When we look at those numbers, we're not talking about just collecting one coin. We're talking about collecting 100 coins. We're also not talking about like 9 coins. We're going to be talking about 900 coins, right? Because it tells us that we're talking about hundreds. Looking at this, we're counting by ones in this case. Be careful because sometimes bar graphs might count in 2s or 3s or 5s. So be careful of your scale on the side, and we're talking about the interval, so how often we're writing a number down. So if you were to look across this bar and I were to ask which year did we collect the most coins, you would look at the bar graph that is the tallest, which is our first bar graph. You would look across the lines and you would know that we collected 800 coins and the year would be 2010. So let's take a look at your assignment for the day. So bar graphs have a title. All words in a title get capitalized with some small word exceptions. So we're talking about air temperature in April. Specifically, the temperature is in Celsius if we look at our y-axis. And we're talking about dates in April. So on the bottom, we have 1, 8, 15, 22, and 29. You'll notice that we added 7 across our bottom each time, and we added 2 along the side going up and down. This would be our interval. That's what we are counting by. Our scale on this graph is 0 to 18 on our y-axis. Some things to be careful about are, for your first page, it tells you that this is dozens of eggs laid per day. Well, in 1 dozen, there are 12. So 1 dozen is equal to 12. So we're not talking just about 1 egg being laid on Monday. We're talking about 1 dozen or 12. When we're talking about how many eggs are laid on Sunday, we're not just talking about 4. We're talking about 4 dozen, or we're talking about 12 times 4, which gives me, there we go, 48. Right? So you're going to have to multiply based on our, kind of like our key that we were talking about before, but this is a hint that tells you that we're not just talking about 1 or 4 eggs, we're talking about 1 or 4 dozen. So if you take a look at your next slide, it talks about numbers of hot dogs. Slide 4, we're talking about number of pets sold each month. Slide 5, we're talking about number of dollars. And then slides 6 and 7, you're going to be asked to create a graph of number of pets sold. There is a key beside you to help you. If you need help, feel free to stop by our help times. They are, as they usually are, scheduled. Other than that, good luck.